The world is a changing place. We've got supply chain issues, natural disasters, and who knows what else lurking around the corner. That's why today, we're diving deep into 30 essential prepper items to hoard. For survival. Now, when I say hoard, I don't mean emptying out the entire grocery store. We're talking about being smart, being prepared, making sure you and your loved ones have what you need when it hits the fan. This isn't about panicking, it's about peace of mind. Over the next little while, we're going through each item one by one. Alright, let's kick things off with a real essential, the trusty flashlight. Listen, when the power goes out and darkness surrounds you, a good flashlight is your best friend. I always say, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. That's why I recommend having multiple flashlights stashed around your house, your vehicle, and your bug-out bag. You never know when you might need a little extra light in your life, right? And don't cheap out. Get yourself some high-quality flashlights with long battery life. LED flashlights are the way to go. They're bright, energy efficient, and those bulbs last forever. Trust me, folks, when the lights go out, you'll be thanking me for this one. Being able to see in the dark is crucial for navigating your surroundings, signaling for help, and just feeling a whole lot safer. Now that we've covered flashlights, let's talk about their trusty sidekicks, batteries. I can't stress enough how important it is to have a good stockpile of batteries in various sizes. You're going to need AA batteries for your flashlights, D batteries for larger devices, and maybe even some button cell batteries for things like radios or headlamps. And don't forget, folks, batteries don't last forever. It's a good idea to check the expiration dates on your batteries every so often and rotate your stock. You don't want to be caught in a power outage with a flashlight full of dead batteries. Remember, knowledge is power, and preparation is key. So, stock up on those batteries and stay powered up, my friends. We've covered flashlights and batteries, but what about a renewable source of energy? That's where solar-powered chargers come in. These handy devices can be a real game changer in a long-term grid-down situation. Now, there are a lot of different solar chargers on the market, from small ones that can fit in your pocket to larger panels that can charge multiple devices at once. Think about what will best suit your needs and budget. A smaller portable one is great for keeping your phone charged, while a larger panel can be used to power lights or even small appliances. The beauty of solar is that as long as you've got sunlight, you've got a way to recharge your essential electronics. Imagine trying to ride out a blizzard without a way to contact help or get weather updates. Having a reliable solar charger means you're not solely reliant on batteries that can eventually die. Remember, folks, preparation is about reducing risk and increasing your self-sufficiency. Adding a solar charger or two to your preps is a smart move towards that goal. Do your research, find a reputable brand, and make sure you practice using it before you need it. You know, folks, all the gear in the world won't help you if you don't know how to use it. Knowledge is the most important prep you can have. Books and manuals on survival skills are essential. Learn practical skills like starting a fire, purifying water, and building a shelter. Read, study, and practice these skills. The more you know, the more prepared you'll be. Remember, knowledge is power. Alright, folks, let's talk about something even more important than food in a survival situation: water. Without clean water, you're in serious trouble. A reliable water filtration system is essential. Your usual sources might not be available. The taps could run dry or be contaminated. Filters make water from rivers, lakes, or rain safe. Invest in a good water filtration system. Up next, an often overlooked but essential tool for survival: the can opener. When you're stocking up on canned goods, a reliable can opener is a must-have. Trust me, you don't want to be caught without one when you're hungry and need to access your food supply. There are several types of can openers to consider, but not all are created equal. You want something durable, easy to use, and reliable. Avoid flimsy or poorly made can openers. They won't hold up over time. Compact can openers are great for saving space and are easy to carry. Make sure you choose one that will last and serve you well in any situation. When disaster strikes, you need sustenance that will last. That's where canned goods come in, your trusty pantry warriors in times of need. Canned fruits, vegetables, soups, meats, these are your long-term food solutions. Why canned goods? Well, they're readily available, relatively inexpensive, and have a long shelf life. We're talking months, even years, depending on the product. Think of it as an investment in your future well-being. Now, variety is key. Don't just stock up on beans, although beans are great. Get a good mix of fruits, veggies, protein sources like tuna and chicken, and even some comfort foods like soups and stews. Remember, a little variety goes a long way in a survival situation. Let's move on to another essential food group for preppers: Dry goods, rice, beans, lentils, oats, pasta, the building blocks of a sustainable pantry. These staples are packed with nutrients and have a long shelf life. A big bag of rice can last for years if stored properly. Beans are another powerhouse of nutrition. Lentils, oats, and pasta are versatile ingredients. Keep dry goods dry and free from pests. Invest in airtight containers, preferably clear ones. Dry goods are your friends in a crisis. They're affordable, nutritious, and reliable. Stock up, rotate supplies, and build a solid survival pantry. Moving forward, don't forget about freeze-dried meals. Lightweight, compact, and with a shelf life of up to 25 years. Freeze-dried food, that stuff tastes like cardboard. But trust me, these days freeze-dried meals have come a long way. They're actually pretty darn tasty. Lots of variety too. Just add boiling water, wait, and bam! A hot meal. Perfect for when you're on the move. We all love a good bowl of cereal or a cup of coffee with milk, right? But fresh milk doesn't last long. That's where powdered milk comes in handy. It's a prepper's best friend. A great source of protein and calcium, shelf-stable for years. Use it for baking, cooking, or just a glass of milk. Mix with water and voila! The taste has improved a lot. Store in a cool, dry place. We live in a world of technology, folks, and our devices are more important than ever. But what happens when the power goes out? That's where portable power banks come in. Lifesavers in an emergency, they charge your phone, tablet, or any USB device. Keep your power bank charged and ready. You never know when you might need it. Next, let's talk about multi-tools. They're like a toolbox in your pocket. Pliers, screwdrivers, saws, you name it. A good multi-tool can be a lifesaver. Practice using it before you need it. You don't want to be figuring it out in a crisis. Make sure you've got a good multi-tool. You'll be glad you have it when you need it. Fuel, folks, fuel. It's not just about getting around when the grid's down. We're talking about heat, cooking, even powering generators. You need to think long-term. Storing fuel properly is crucial, and I don't mean just tossing a few jerry cans in the shed. First off, you need to choose the right type of fuel. Gasoline degrades over time, so it's not ideal for long-term storage. Diesel or kerosene are better options. They last longer and are less volatile. And remember, always use a fuel stabilizer to prevent it from going bad. Secondly, location, location, location. Store your fuel in a cool, dry, well-ventilated area, away from any potential sources of ignition. You don't want to create a fire hazard. Trust me, I've seen what happens when fuel isn't stored properly. It's not pretty. And lastly, rotate your fuel supply. Use the oldest fuel first and replenish your stock regularly. This ensures that you always have a fresh supply on hand. Now you might be thinking, trash bags? Really? But, hold on my friends, don't underestimate the humble trash bag. These things are incredibly versatile and have a ton of uses in a survival situation. First and foremost, they're great for sanitation. Keeping your camp or shelter clean is essential for preventing the spread of disease. Use trash bags to collect waste and dispose of it properly. Remember, hygiene is paramount when SHTF, but it doesn't stop there. You can use them to protect your gear from the elements, create makeshift shelters, even collect rainwater. They're lightweight, compact, and take up hardly any space in your bug-out bag. And here's a pro tip: double bag it, especially when storing food or other important items. It adds an extra layer of protection against moisture, pests, and punctures. Now let's talk Ziploc bags. Now you might think these are just for your kids' peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but let me tell you, in a grid-down situation, these little guys become invaluable. We're talking serious multi-purpose tools here, folks. First off, organization. Chaos is your enemy in a survival situation. Ziploc bags let you keep your smaller items sorted and dry. Got some matches you need to keep dry? Ziploc bag. Need to separate your fishing hooks from your first aid supplies? Ziploc bag. You get the idea. But it goes beyond just organization. Think about waterproofing important documents, protecting your electronics from the elements, even using them as makeshift ice packs if you need to treat an injury. I've even seen folks use them to store kindling and tinder to help start a fire in damp conditions. So don't underestimate the humble Ziploc bag, folks. Stock up on various sizes. Trust me, you'll thank me later when you're organized and your vital gear is dry and protected. We talk a lot about the practicalities of survival, securing food, water, shelter, but we can't forget about hygiene. And when access to running water is limited, that's where wet wipes come in, my friends. Trust me, a little hygiene goes a long way in a stressful situation. Now, I'm not talking about a quick wipe of your hands after a granola bar. We're talking full-body hygiene here. Keeping clean helps prevent infections, especially if you're treating a wound or cut. Believe me, the last thing you want in a grid-down scenario is to be laid up with an infection because you didn't have any wet wipes. And don't forget about sanitation. Wet wipes can be used to clean surfaces and utensils before preparing food, which is crucial for preventing illness. So, stock up on those wet wipes, folks. Get yourself a good supply, different sizes, maybe even some biodegradable ones if you're environmentally conscious. Fire. It's one of mankind's oldest tools, essential for survival. But starting a fire isn't always easy. Reliable fire starters are essential. Matches can get damp and useless. Have multiple fire starting methods. A windproof, refillable lighter is a must. Waterproof matches are invaluable. Consider fire starter cubes and ferrocerium rods. These tools ensure you can start a fire. Fire is a cornerstone of survival. Be prepared to spark a flame in any situation. Up next, light. When the grid goes down, tea lights and candles are your reliable source of illumination. They're small, lightweight, and easy to store. Plus, they're inexpensive and simple to use. Just strike a match, light the wick, and boom, instant light. Essential for any prepper's arsenal. Stay prepared, stay safe, and light your way through the darkness. Okay, moving on to duct tape, the Swiss Army knife of the survivalist world. Fix a leaky pipe, torn tent, or create a makeshift bandage. It's waterproof, strong, and versatile. Always have at least 2 rolls in your prepping supplies. Next up, dental health. A toothache can be a nightmare in survival situations. Stock up on manual toothbrushes and fluoride toothpaste. Good dental hygiene is essential for overall health. Okay, mowing on to sewing kits. Knowing how to sew is a life skill, especially in a grid-down situation. Your clothes might rip, your backpack could tear, or your tent might leak. Even basic stitches can make a difference. A good sewing kit has various needles, strong thread, and safety pins. Keep it with your gear, you'll thank me later. Communication is key in emergencies. When cell towers are down, two-way radios are essential. They work without relying on infrastructure. Forget smartphones, use radios. Practice using your radio now. In a crisis, communication saves lives. Now let's move on to the weather. Staying dry is crucial. A good rain poncho is essential. Look for a durable ripstop poncho. It's incredibly versatile and packed small. Bright colors help rescuers spot you. Stay dry, stay safe. We've covered a lot of ground, but now it's time to talk about getting some shut-eye. And believe me, in a grid-down situation, a good night's sleep is essential. That's where a reliable sleeping bag comes in. You're going to want to look for a sleeping bag that's rated for the conditions you're most likely to encounter. Here in the north, that means being prepared for those chilly nights. A good rule of thumb is to choose a bag rated at least 10 degrees colder than the lowest temperature you expect. And don't forget about size and weight. If you're bugging out on foot, you don't want to be lugging around a massive heavy bag. Look for something compact and lightweight but still warm enough to keep you comfortable. Trust me, a good night's sleep can make all the difference in a survival situation. Now a piece of gear that's small enough to fit in your pocket but can be a lifesaver in a pinch. The thermal blanket. These things are incredible for retaining heat and can make a huge difference in preventing hypothermia. They're made from a thin, reflective material like mylar, and they work by trapping your body heat. You can wrap yourself in one for extra warmth, or even use it to create a makeshift shelter. And the best part? They're incredibly affordable. You can usually find them for a few bucks a piece. Next up, socks. That's right, socks. Keeping your feet dry and warm is crucial in a survival situation, and a good pair of socks is your first line of defense. I'm talking about high-quality, moisture-wicking socks, ideally made from wool or synthetic materials. Cotton is a no-go, folks. It absorbs moisture and takes forever to dry, which can lead to blisters and even hypothermia in cold weather. Always pack extra pairs of socks in your bug-out bag. Trust me, there's nothing worse than having cold, wet feet when you're trying to survive. And remember, a little bit of foot care goes a long way. Alright preppers, let's not forget about protecting our most valuable tools. Our hands. You need a good sturdy pair of work gloves, not flimsy gardening gloves. Heavy-duty gloves made from leather or tough synthetic materials. Look for reinforced palms and fingers. Protect yourself from cuts, scrapes, and blisters. A good pair of work gloves is an investment. Now even the most prepared prepper knows the importance of self-sufficiency. That's why having a diverse collection of seeds is absolutely critical. We're not just talking about a couple of packets here, folks. We need to be ready to grow a variety of crops. Vegetables, fruits, herbs, you name it. Your collection should include a variety of seeds in different types, from fast-growing greens to long-term staples like beans and squash. And don't forget about proper storage to keep your seeds viable. Label your seeds clearly and store them in a cool, dry place. A good rule of thumb is to have enough seeds to plant a garden that can sustain your family for at least a season. Alright preppers, we're getting close to the end of our list, but this next item is absolutely critical. Number 29. A well-stocked first aid kit. Now, I'm not talking about those little kits you get at the pharmacy with a couple of Band-Aids and some aspirin. We're talking about a serious kit with everything you need to handle major and minor injuries. Think about it, folks. When disaster strikes, you can't just call 911. You need to be your own first responder. Your kit should include bandages, gauze, antiseptic wipes, pain relievers, allergy meds, and anything else you might need in a pinch. And don't forget about any personal medications you or your family members require. Stock up on those too, and make sure your kit is clearly labeled and organized so you can find what you need in a hurry. Remember, a well-stocked first aid kit can mean the difference between life and death in a survival situation. Last but not least, number 30 on our list of essential prepper items might surprise you. Heavy-duty plastic sheeting. You might be thinking, what's so special about plastic sheeting? Well, my friends, let me tell you, this stuff is incredibly versatile and can be a real lifesaver in a pinch. First off, plastic sheeting is fantastic for creating temporary shelters. Need to cover a broken window after a storm? Plastic sheeting. Need to build a makeshift lean-to for protection from the elements? Plastic sheeting. It's waterproof, windproof, and surprisingly durable. But its uses don't stop there. You can use it to collect rainwater, create a solar still for water purification, or even as a ground cover to keep your gear clean and dry. Well, there you have it. Our list of 30 essential items to hoard for survival. By having these items on hand, you'll be ready to face whatever challenges come your way. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more expert prepping advice. And be sure to share this video with your friends and family so they can be prepared too. Until next time, stay safe, stay prepared, and keep on prepping.